going for the sickos out there. Next month will be 31 years since GG Allin died, and since Jethro Skull is one of my new favorite bands, I thought it'd be appropriate to tell this story. If you don't know Jethro Skull, they got a link to the GG and Murder Junkies and ANTiSEEN lineage since, for one, they sound a lot like them, but two, Jeff from ANTiSEEN guests on their Devastation Inc. EP, so if you like awesome shit, check them out, because they rule. Oh, and ANTiSEEN was the backing band on one of GG's solo albums titled Murder Junkies, and Jeff Clayton fronted the band Murder Junkies after GG died when his brother Merle kept it going to this day. GG and Merle were in it together for years, Murder Junkies. So alright, here's the story. Wait, one more thing real quick. In case you don't know who GG Allin was, he unquestionably was the most wild, out of his mind, dangerous, self-destructive, other people destructive, violent, disgusting frontman to ever live, who made people like Seth Putnam look like the Village People, who fucking rule, by the way, and I saw him at Disney World one time and it was awesome. But yeah, GG used to get naked on stage and piss and shit all over himself and the crowd and get in fights and stuff, and like, I fucking ruled, man. But alright, here we go. It's early March of 2006 and I'm hanging out with this chick I was friends with. We wake up one morning and we're like, what do we want to do today? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Let's go visit GG Allin's grave. Now, GG's buried in a small town called Littleton in upstate New Hampshire. We were at her place in Burlington, Mass, though, which meant Littleton was about 4 hours away, but I thought, fuck it, let's go anyway. The directions to get up there were pretty clear, but we didn't have them to the cemetery itself, but since Littleton's so small and GG's pretty infamous, I figured I could just stop at a gas station in town and ask where it was. And that's exactly what happened. Of course, when I asked the chick working inside, I got the eye roll when I was like, I'm wondering if you can help me. I'm trying to find a cemetery here where somebody famous is buried. It's a guy named, and she cuts me off and goes, let me guess, GG Allin? Yep. So we get the directions and find the cemetery. However, since it was early March, there was still a whole bunch of snow on the ground and like, I don't know, it was hard trying to find the exact spot. Luckily though, there was a motel right across the street, so I thought I'd use the same strategy and knock on the door and ask for help. Pretty much the exact scenario played out like at the gas station. I start my question, the lady finishes it for me before I'm even done. So okay, we now at least have a general idea where it was in there, but it was in a section with even more snow on the ground, so like, fucking A, man, you know? We're looking around, nothing, and walking through the snow is a pain in the ass, so I'm like, I think I saw Home Depot back that way. Let's go buy some rubber boots. And God love the chick I was with, man, what a trooper. Now, as we're leaving though, I think to myself, might be kind of a long shot, but I mean, I know Merle lives in New Jersey. I wonder if I could use directory assistance to call him up and ask him if he can guide me. So that's what I do. I call directory assistance and like, shit, for anybody watching that might be under the age of like 30, directory assistance was when a phone operator would give you somebody's number that you didn't have. What's an operator? It was a person on the other end of the phone that like, when you press 0 on yours, it'd call them up and you could give them somebody's name and they'd connect you. Sometimes those fucking pirates would charge you to do it though, so if you didn't have a pen, paper, or a good memory, you were fucked. But okay, so they're like, what city please? And I'm like, shit, I got no idea. Atlantic City? No Merl Allen within a 30-mile radius. Fuck, can you expand the search? Bam! I have a Merl Allen in, I don't remember the name of the city. Sure enough, she connects me and it's ringing, and it rings, but nothing. But I'm like, fuck it, let's still go get those boots. Okay, so we do, and we're on our way back. And then all of a sudden, my phone rings, and it's a number I don't recognize, but it's a Jersey area code. So I pick up, and I'm like, hello? And this dude's like, yeah, who's this? And I'm like, this is Joe. Is this Merle? And he's like, yeah, I recognized the 603 area code on my ID and figured it was somebody from home. So who the hell are you? And you know, I tell him who I am and that I was up in Littleton looking for GG's grave and I couldn't find it, so I took a shot at trying to call him to see if he could direct me, and like, we had a laugh about it, and like, yeah, man, so I was shooting the shit with Merl Allen. Fucking A, right? So Merle's directions proved to work, because within like 2 minutes, there we were, standing at the grave of the rock and roll terrorist himself, the most dangerous frontman to ever live, GG Allin. Fucking A, man. And of course, the stories about it were true, that people would pay like a biological kind of tribute to it, if you will, because there were visible stains all over it. You can guess what that means. Now, I'm not proud of the following in retrospect, but on our way back to the cemetery from Home Depot, we stopped in somewhere and we got a 6-pack of Coors, and I drank one at the grave, but only one. So yeah, man, it was cool, like, standing there looking at this dude who I first discovered in 3rd grade, and I got my grandmother to buy me a subscription to Thrasher magazine, and I read a story about him, and I'm looking at his tattoos and his scars and stuff, and I remember thinking like, holy shit. And then years later, getting my hands on his music and just like, if you've never heard him, his Rock and Roll All Night was Bite It You Scum, so great place to start. Now here's two little quick things about the degrees of separation I had with them. They're remote, but still. One of GG's earlier bands, the Jabbers, had an album produced by GENYA Ravan, who was the singer of the Escorts. My parents, when they still lived in Yonkers, were close friends with a woman named CHEN, whose son Bobby played drums in GENYA's solo band, so there's that. Two, another close friend of my family was a priest for a lot of years in the city I grew up in, Nashua, New Hampshire. He ended up getting transferred to a church up in Littleton. A few years after I went up to the cemetery, he came down to visit and I told him my story about it, and he revealed to me that the headstone had to be removed. He said he had to make the final decision about it and he felt awful, but too many people were pissing and shitting all over it that it was just getting out of control with having to clean it constantly, so it had to go. I mean, he didn't say it like that, like he didn't use those words, but you know. So yeah, dude, there you go. There's my Merle and GG story. I'm curious to know if anybody watching this has ever made it up there before it was removed, so, you know, if you did, I'd love to hear your story. But rest in peace, GG, you know? God bless him, man. God bless his mom, Arletta, who passed in 19, and Merle, who was in a serious accident last year, but as I understand it, he's recovering really well, so God bless him too. So fucking A, dude, I am done. If you did like this video, cool, man, maybe you can give it a thumbs up. Or if you just like hearing somebody bullshit about heavy metal, then I invite you to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on Concrete Spew, but until then, stay wild, maniacs.